I was really kind of like worried about what people thought of me. Like every move I made was for other people. I kind of realized that, oh, like, I'm actually not that happy.
High school is one of the most critical times of a person's life. During those 4 years, they really decide who they're gonna be, and during that time, they make some of the biggest decisions that they'll make in their lives.
Well, I play football, I also wrestle, and I play rugby. And that like really distracted me sometimes, but again, like I still felt empty about it. At the end of the night, I would always just go back home, and I knew I was missing something. I needed to find something that was right for me.
Everyone judged me. I try to do things that will make them like me. I would try to like get a guy's attention. I would try to like make my uniform like shorter or look like, you know, really pretty. When I was 13, I met this guy and we started dating because I thought he was being real protective. A couple months into dating, he started hitting me. When I tried to actually break up with him, it was like I felt that he was gonna hurt me. I knew the only way out of that room it was if I gave him what he wanted, and so I did give it to him. We moved to the United States, and a couple months later, my son Andrew was born, and I was only 16 years old.
The purpose of Young Life is to reach the farthest out kid, the kid who no one talks to, the kid who is searching for life in all the wrong places, the kid who probably would never set foot in a church.
Before I even met Kevin, I had known who he was, and so I'd been praying that I would get to meet him. His friend, she had told me about how much he needed this and how much he needed to be loved. And he comes out, his arms crossed, you know, very closed off, but I knew that he wanted to be loved. Like I could feel it.
I saw him and I was like, this dude's like really energetic, and like he's like smiling a lot, and like it kind of freaked me out.
The most powerful and effective way to meet a high school student is to meet them where they are.
So we go to the school, we go to band concerts, we go to football games, we go to theater productions. We go anywhere the kids are gonna be, and we meet them on their turf.
The first time I met Aussie was at the Splatter Run.
At first I thought she was like a college student because she like seemed so cool and like crazy with the kids and all that, and I'm like, man, I want to be like her. Like she seems so cool.
I started inviting her to things at Herndon Young Life, and she always said yes.
How me and Brownrick first met, I was at a pep rally before a homecoming game. We were outside. They called a bunch of people up to dance, and all of a sudden I see this tall, lanky teacher up there dancing, and I'm like, who's that, who's that, who's that? And they're like, oh, that's Mr. Brownrick, he's my math teacher.
I first remember getting to know Sean because he kept showing up at Beyond, which is our campaigners. I saw him as a guy who was interested in learning more about Jesus and interested in growing in his faith and seeing what life with Christ was really like.
We just show up where they are. They see us every day. They get to know us, they live life with us.
It shows them how much we care about them, because there's one thing we know about teenagers, and that it's they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
So when we tell them about Jesus, the best news they've ever heard, it's not coming from some random source, it's coming from a trusted friend.
My first impression of Club, it was amazing.
I like walked in, and then again, everyone was just super happy, and like I wasn't used to that at all. Like the environment was just like really good, that like it didn't feel real at all.
So I want to read to you guys an account from the book of Mark.
What really brought me back to Club was the message was like, I could really understand it.
This semester we are, looking forward to diving in deeper with you guys. We want you guys to grow more.
I was a little hesitant because like, what if this was one of these things that just wasn't gonna work out like all the rest? Like, what if Jesus wasn't really who they say he is? Like, what if it's just not gonna satisfy me? And then I just I felt like inexplainably like drawn towards him.
Jesus had this intimate, beautiful relationship with God the Father.
As they were talking, I was like, I really want to know who this is, what he does for us, why he does it, because there must be a purpose, like why he does it.
I spend 90% of my day telling kids about math. Math is fun, I like it, it's okay. But it would be crazy if I didn't tell them the most important news that they'll ever hear, that Jesus Christ loves them and wants a relationship with them.
I went up to my leaders and I told them that I've never felt love like this before.
Kevin was a different person. He now had this desire to love his friends and to share Jesus with his friends. And it was so intense that our team at Robinson went from 4 people to 5 people because Kevin was now able to walk with us and help us lead other kids to Jesus.
Since I've met Christ, life's been so much better. Jesus is the first thing where it lived up to expectations and exceeded them.
What really stands out to me about Sean is that he doesn't come from a background of knowing everything there is to know about the Bible. Instead, he knows that Jesus has been drawing him to himself, and he legitimately wants to get to know Jesus, the living Jesus, as who he is. For him, it's being with Jesus that's changing his life.
Since I've met Jesus, I knew my life would be completely different, and I'm thankful for every single person he's put in my life, especially Brittany, because I'm just thankful for everything he has done, does, and will do for us and for me.
There are more than 100,000 adolescents who walk through the halls of our high schools and George Mason University here in Fairfax County. Among them, you may find one of our 89 Young Life leaders that we're sending out on a weekly basis to get to know kids. They walk through life with them. They build relationships with them in the hopes to share with them about the God who created them and loves them more than they could ever imagine. We are seeing lives transformed all year round. Will you join us?